I landed placements with major artists and built a network of thousands of producers, all while working a 9 to 5. Not by cranking out beats all day and out grinding everyone else, but by building a system that got my music in front of the right people while I was at work. Your job is not what's holding you back. It's the way you're using the few hours that you have outside of it. In this video, I'll show you the 3 methods I used to expand my network and land placements. Now, most producers with a full-time job tell themselves the exact same story. If I just had more time, I'd be getting placements. If I just had more time, I'd be able to network way more. They get home from work, open their door, and grind out beat after beat with whatever hours they have left, trying to outproduce people who are doing this 12 hours a day. Sorry to tell you, buddy, but that's not a game that you're gonna win. Let me get scientific with you real quick. I want you to think of your music career like an atom. Your music is the nucleus. That's the middle bit. Everything revolves around this. And without great music, none of this works. But here's where most producers get it wrong. They spend all of their time on the nucleus and none of their time on the electrons that allow the atom to interact with the world. I hope you see where I'm going with this. In your career, those electrons are the 3 methods I'm about to show you. It's about spending your limited time on the activities that make your music find the right people. So the first electron is content. And here's a mistake that I used to make. Bars. I'd get home from work and spend my free time scrolling on Instagram, looking for artists and producers to cold DM, sending, hey, check my beats, or can I send loops to people who never responded. I was chasing people who had no reason to care who I was yet. And with a full-time job at the time, I just didn't have the energy to keep doing it. So I stopped chasing and I started posting, and something shifted almost immediately. Instead of me going to find people, producers and artists started coming to me. My content was doing the networking while I was at work, while I was sleeping. Every post was passive networking, running 24/7, even if the views weren't crazy. One of my mentorship students, Eli, had 0 posts when we started working together because he wasn't really comfortable putting himself out there, and his mind created a whole bunch of reasons why he should start posting later. When I got him to start posting reels to Instagram consistently, he ended up landing a connection with a very large producer within the first month. He also got invited to his first studio session with an artist.
Sound like you got a pep in your step.
Ah, shit then, is that obvious and that? Social side of things is actually like, it's going mad still. Like, I don't know if you heard of a producer, rapper called and then bro, he sent me a message and that, fam. He's like, bro, I see on your page and that, fam, you do music and that, like, I fuck with your sound and that, like, him and a group of other creatives, like producers and that, they got like some little, like a studio and that, fam.
Imagine if this was a month and a half ago, you liked his thing. He would have went to your page and clicked off.
Nothing. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not even like your views don't need to be crazy. They just, all he needed to see was that you're putting in work.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely take him up on that offer and go to that session.
Yeah, for real.
Because you never know who you're gonna meet and be. It might open up like a whole new world of collabs for you.
Exactly.
And this was all from Instagram Reels that barely had any views. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because it's never gonna come. Start when you're not ready. And don't concern yourself too much with the views that you're getting, because if even 100 people see what you're putting out, you only need 1 of those 100 to be the right person. Why am I waving my finger so much? But the next electron is how you go and find the right people yourself. Networking. Your Instagram is your business card. Anytime anyone DMs me wanting to work, the first thing I do is click on their profile. I'm not looking at follow count or whether they're viral. I'm looking at whether this person seems serious and if I like their music. If there are selfies, unrelated posts, or no posts at all, I'll ignore it. You could have the hardest beats in the world, but if your page isn't showing that you're a producer, nobody's taking you seriously. Now, getting in the room with people physically is the quickest way to form genuine, career-long connections. But since you're working full-time, you can't be sitting in the studio for 12 hours a day. So here are 2 approaches we can use. Networking with producers. Now, how do we find producers to network with? This is what I call the ecosystem method. Start by building a list of artists you genuinely want to work with. I would make a mix of large, medium, and small-sized artists. Just for the sake of the video, let's use heady one. Now, we want to build out a network of all of the producers that he's worked with in the last year or 2, because chances are they're still working together if they've dropped something recently. Now, I give all of my mentorship students a tool that'll do this for them automatically by pasting in a Genius link, and voila. This also says how many times they've worked with this producer too. But you can do this manually by going to Genius, typing all of this down and saving it in a document like a Google Sheet or something. From there, go through this list one by one and check their Instagram pages or their YouTube channels to see if any of these producers have loop kits or send weekly loops. If they do, download them, make something hard with them, and drop a screen recording snippet of that beat on your Instagram story, tagging them clearly. You can also make an Instagram reel with that beat that you made, tagging them in the description of it. You could even just go to YouTube, search the name of an artist you like, followed by Loopkit, click on a video, then go to their Instagram to see if they've landed placements. This already tells you that they're well connected. Humans are very self-centered creatures. When we see that someone is using the work that we put effort into creating, the chances of us paying attention to that are way higher than if we just received a cold DM. Now, if you get a like on that story or that reel, or better yet, a comment, immediately follow up with that producer. Be respectful, don't be too thirsty. Just let them know that you mess with their sound and whether it'll be possible to send them back the beats that you make with their loops. If they say yes, grab the email and regularly send them back beats, loops, starters, FLPs. Now I know what you may be thinking. This may just be a loop maker who has no direct connections with any artists. But even if that's the case, it's still an important connection to have. They could end up sending a collaboration that you guys made to the right person at the right time, and then boom. But you don't have to just do this with larger producers who have placements. Do this with people around your level. This is called networking horizontally. Guys that I started out with have gone on to get placements with people like Central C, Drake, and even when I got my first major placement, I think I had about 500 or 600 followers, and the other co-producers weren't that big either. You never know who someone knows or where someone will be a year from now, but we all started from zero, and understanding that these little interactions slowly compound over time is what's important. Networking with artists. Now here is a strategy I swear by that has landed me results with artists. If you've tried getting the attention of a certain artist and it's just not working, just use the ecosystem method. I'll give you a real world example. I wanted a Russ Millions placement for the longest, since like 2021. I tagged him constantly, but he never responded to my DMs. Then I noticed he began working a lot with a Dutch artist named Dope Boy, so I reached out to him instead. I didn't send the guy a cold DM asking if I could just send him beats. I made a hard ass beat and then just tagged him in my story. He saw that, asked me to send it, and a few weeks later, he drops a track with Russ Millions on it. That one outside connection opened a door that the direct approach didn't. The combination of building up my page, showing that I was serious, posting content and tagging, did what begging someone to hop on one of my beats could never do. One cheeky little cheat code that you can use is ghost tagging. This is where you make a beat, tag multiple artists, but drag their names off screen so they can't see that you've tagged other people. Ooh, so cheeky. Sorry. The kit method. Now this is pretty self-explanatory, but putting out kits was the single biggest thing I did to learn placements. Like the content, it does the networking for you. You just want to make sure that your samples are actually good. Before you start saying, easy for you to say, I'm getting no views. My first placement came from a loop kit that had about 150 views on YouTube. So I don't want to hear the complaints. You're making the melodies anyway, so package them, throw them up on YouTube. Make short form content for each melody promoting that kit and send it out to as many producers as you can. Now, I know what you're thinking. How on earth can I find time to do all of this? None of these methods require 12-hour studio days or traveling across the country. You can make a week's worth of content in one day. You can dedicate one day to making all the beats and melodies that you need for the next couple of weeks. You've got the content and you've got the loops, pushing your music out there while you're at work, while you're sleeping. You've got the ecosystem method, so you're spending some of your time contacting the right people and you're keeping track of your contacts and when you last contacted them, so you remember to follow up with them even if you have a busy schedule. If you want your weekends free, put in a few hours into doing all of this before or after work. If you don't want to get up early, use your weekends. Don't burn yourself, but just take a real look at your schedule and see where you're wasting time that you could be spending making music or networking. It would be way too overwhelming to try and do all of this at once today, but just slowly introduce some of these into your routine, and I guarantee you will see more results than just sitting down and cranking out beats all day. Now, if you're looking for personalized one-to-one help tailored to you and your situation, I run a 12-week mentorship program where we work together to create a system you can use around your busy schedule to create a clear networking and content plan, and also fill in any gaps that you may have in your production. If that sounds like what you need, hit the link in the description. Now that you have some networking tools that you can use, I guarantee that there are still a few mental blocks that are holding you back, and you can fix those by checking out this video next.